There are two main reading styles. The first one is Zara, and then the second one is Skimly. So Zara is when your reader reads your copy from the first line up to the last line. On the other hand, Skimly is when your reader picks the main part and then the reader first doesn't read all of it. So they look at the main things, and then if something catches their eye, now they go deep into it. So knowing that now, that those are the two main reading styles that your copy should be optimized for. So the first one is Zara. So Zara is when now when you are creating your copy for a Zara reader, you need to create it from the point from that your copy flows from the heading up to the last line in your copy. So it should be like you are taking your reader on a journey. The other way to optimize your copy for your Zara reader is by having a clear and compelling introduction. So a clear and compelling introduction shows the reader that it doesn't show, but it kind of engages the reader immediately, so that they are invested in your copy and now they will go about to the end of it. The other way is that ensure that your copy ensure that your copy is flowing logically. So this is in terms of how you present your information. So you should present it in such a way that the flow is like one thing builds on the other, like the first thing, and then the second one builds on the first, the third one builds on the second one, the fourth one builds on the third one. So that is the way you should write your copy. Like the, the thing you started, everything that comes out of that, it should be building on that, like that. The other way you optimize your copy is by optimizing it for the skimly reader. So the skimly reader is the reader who kind of skips around. So for example, one way to optimize this is by using headlines and sub-headlines. So not headlines, but headings and subheadings. So depending on the way your copy is formatted, should be giving your headline, your reader headline. So for example, if we are talking about something like let's say something like the principles of marketing, you should be giving your headline. So a headline like scarcity, reciprocity, authority, like that. So you should give in your reader a headline that, but now in a very descriptive way. So depending on the topic you are talking about, you should make it as descriptive as possible, so that when your reader reads that headline, they can understand what else is coming in that under that headline or that subheading. The other way to optimize for a skimly reader is by using bullet points. So when you use bullet points, you kind of make the text easy to read. So the most of the reason why a reader skim through the copy is because they feel that they don't have time. But when you break up your copy into by using bullet points, it enables the reader to feel that it is not overwhelming, like your copy is not overwhelming anymore. And now when they are in that state of mind, they can now go through the points and now they can see if they have what they are looking for. The third way of optimizing your copy for your Skimly reader is by using bold and italics throughout your copy. So when you use bold and italics, it will be different from the other parts of your copy. And now this will enable your reader to understand that these are the main points. So like this is the where the emphasis is most on, so that they can now go immediately to that particular point of emphasis that you are put in your copy. So I know now you may be asking like, how do how do I know to whether my reader is Kimli or whether my reader is a Zara reader? So the way you know this is by using the heat map. So in your copy you should have it you should be having a heat map embedded on your copy so that you can know how each reader is going about their copy. So if you notice that your reader is just starting from the top and going to the bottom, you know that this reader is more focused on the it's a more Zara reader. On the other hand, if you realize that in your heat maps it has, let's say, like 1 point, like 1 point they read this, the other point it is this other one, the other point it is another, like there's those bits of spaces. Now you realize that you are dealing with a skimmed reader. Now when you know that, now it is very easy for you to optimize your copy so that it is it is relevant to that particular reader. So the other thing I recommend is that you should find a way of bringing dif- both of the two styles. Find a way of bringing them all of them into a copy so that it serves both your Zara reader and also it also serves your Kimble reader. So that is all for today, and I'll see you in the next session. So bye bye. Carpe diem.